Okay, Ryan here, working on the replacement of the bypass valve on this Rheem water heater. I'll show over here. This is the RTG-84XLN-1. Let's get back in here. The bypass valve is leaking. You can see, if you look right in here, right in this spot there, should be able to see a crack in between the two copper pipes going in, two copper pipes. So we are going to try to replace that valve with a new valve and hope that it stops water from spewing out there. So I've unplugged the water, I've unplugged the power, I've turned off the gas, and I have shut down the two pipes coming in here. Okay, I'm going to start in here and unplug the board, these clips right here. Go around these. Looks like, oh no, fully comes off. So I'm going to put these up here to be reinstalled later. Get these out of the way. Okay. I'll put these down here. I'm labeling the stuff up top so we can get it later. Copper clips. All right, those are free. This is free over here. It says remove these wire ties. So I'm going to remove one wire tie. And okay, it looks like you can still see it. I'm going to remove. Okay, I think the second, I actually don't see another wire tie, so I think we're okay here. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is try to get this whole board off here so I can get in behind this. So there's a screw here that I need to remove to get that out. And then I see over here there's some pieces attached in the back here and some stuff that is tied in. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this guy over here so I can get in there. Oh. Okay, I managed to remove that one. That was in there. All right. And now, all right, I got to get this whole hunk out here, which seems like it's attached up here. So I'm going to try to take this out. All right. I'll label that. Top of board screw. All right. Doesn't want to come out yet, and I think it's because it's screwed in down here. So I'm going to remove this screw here from the bottom. Okay. It looks like that's giving me a little more space to get this out. Kind of got the whole thing in here. You know, I might have not have needed to do that actually, because I need to get the entire hunk out. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put this back in, because I think I can just remove this here at the bottom, which is keeping it in place. All right, this screw is a little tighter, but it is coming out, and it is loosening it. Or, yeah, I can see the part wiggling, the whole hunk of board here wiggling as I remove it. Okay, and it does have this little piece on the end too, so I'm going to try to keep that with it. That came out with it, which is interesting. I guess that means it's on the exterior of it, which is fine. This screw over here, interestingly, does not appear to have that same piece, which is kind of interesting. Okay, and I can actually see, all right, I think this is a good sign. Okay, that screw came out as well. All right, I'm going to try to not move that for a second while I label these two. This is bottom left of board under. And I'm going to label the right side as well. Bottom right of board under. Okay, and now I'm going to see what I can remove here. Okay, so I have a clip here. This clip right here is in there, and it looks like I can squeeze and remove it. Okay, and it's kind of attached to that, which may be okay. I'm going to undo this twisty a little bit, so you see. Okay, so I've got left. I'm gonna make a note down here. I've got the left upper left insert, and then upper right insert, and that into wire tie as well. All right, and I do have a towel down here to try to catch anything that goes out. All right, so I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm assuming that's some kind of trigger wire for the heat exchanger up here, maybe. Don't really know. All right, and again, I'm going to see if I can now remove this. Okay, and the answer is I can get it out, which is good. It's kind of just hanging here, which is not great, because we have quite a few wires that are pulling on it, but that may be okay if we can avoid having to get everything out again. Okay. All right, so we removed enough of this that we have some visibility in here to the flooding area. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. I'm going to tap over here, and I'm going to show in here is the piece in the front with the crack right here. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get these pieces out so that we can remove this particular valve. Okay, so first I'm going to get rid of this union clip here. Let's see if I can get this clip out. It is attaching this in the back. Okay, having some trouble. All right. Okay, I got the clip off. I think I should have taken a more careful note of precisely where the clip goes. I'm going to need to look at my video again for that. I'm going to label that. This is going to be water control to bypass union. Okay, and at this point I only have evidence that the bypass valve itself is leaking. So what I'm going to do is just try to remove the bypass valve, and then I'm going to turn on the water again. Now, this seems like it's okay in a hanging position here. After this, I'm going to turn on the water again, and I'm going to see if we still get leaks. And if we still get leaks, I will then proceed to replace the water control valve, as I've purchased both parts. All right, so I'm going to remove these two. These are the bottom two screws attaching the copper piping to the bypass valve, and this piece itself also detaches. Do that. I got this little piece here. I'm going to take this piece out. Oh, a little crooked here. I'll try to turn this around in a little. There you go. I'll put those up. This is the bottom copper attach. All right. It's a little cold, so my hands are a little shaky, but it's okay. Seems okay so far. All right, and now I'm going to try to remove the top copper attachment as well. One. Okay. And note, this right one, I need to remember, has this wire, this white wire attached. So I'm going to see, oh, interestingly, this is attached to this piece here. So I'm going to take these out and this piece out here. Okay. I'm going to label these. Okay. So I'm going to put attach wrapper to right screw, and this is the upper copper attach. Okay, it's kind of a nice system, I guess, for keeping that hooked in. All right. Okay, so at this point, I should be able to remove these. Yep, okay, they actually slide out pretty cleanly. Okay, and then we have the bypass valve itself. And so the bypass valve itself, this is part that was not clear from online, but yes, it looks like I can just pull it out, actually. a little bit in here. It's got a little bit of water. Okay. All right, and I have removed the valve. Okay, this is the part that is now tricky. Yeah, okay. So interestingly, this valve has two parts. Okay, and many, all right, many parts that are attached here. So we can see here this crack in the front where the water is spewing out, and I'm assuming that's going to run the length of this. Okay, so this is the unfortunate part. I'm actually going to need to unscrew this twisty here because I need to get all these wires out. All right, this is very unfortunate. Okay. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do, because yeah, okay, I don't want to separate this part, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I was thinking about, could I actually avoid this process if I somehow removed just the back of this, but I don't want to put a partial part in and have an incomplete test. So I'm going to go ahead and try to I'm going to go ahead and just take these ties out here, or these twisties out here, so I can get this cable removed. All right. Okay, those two twisties were not too bad. Okay, now this is where this is going to get tricky. This is going to get real tricky. Okay, this is a good idea. Okay, so I'm pulling the wires. I'm pulling and pulling and pulling on these wires. Okay, so I think what I did before, okay, there's actually not that many plugs here. So I am going to proceed with just unplugging these plugs, because I think that's the only way that I'm going to be able to get to getting this out here. All right, so it's not clear exactly which of these is going to which. All right. I'm assuming all of these hook up to one, which looks like this one right here. So I'm going to see if I can remove this particular one here. And get that out. So, okay, here's what I'm going to do to help figure that out. Is I'm going to go ahead and look at the new bypass valve that's going in and see if I can identify what needs to come out here. Okay, so here's the new bypass valve that's going in, and I can see that it's a narrow one coming in. Okay, so I think it is this one all the way on the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and try to unplug this guy all the way on the edge here. All right, I'm having a lot of trouble getting it out. I may need to use, I got it. Okay, that's good. I was actually able to, okay, so that's good. I didn't need to unplug those two other sections really to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug these guys back in so I don't get lost. Okay, so those have been removed. I'm just doing a visual inspection here. I'm going to show over here what this looks like, and I can see in this piece in the back, I'm looking at it and I don't see any additional evidence of cracking on it. But again, I'm going to plug it in and see what happens to see if we get some additional cracking. All right, so here's the piece I've removed. I can see there's a crack there, right there. Again, you can see the crack right in the middle. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the new piece in here. So I'm going to go ahead and unwrap this. Unwrapping it right here. It's got a rubber band around the front. This is going to be important if this doesn't work for some reason and I need to try to return this part. Okay. You can see here all the pieces. I'm not going to plug this in yet because I don't need the electricity yet if the part works or doesn't work. So, and interestingly, this didn't really have any kind of mounting in here. It just sort of goes in. So, again, I'm trying to just kind of hustle it in. Okay. Trying to get it into the back part. And insert these into the front. Okay. It gets pretty snug in there. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the union clip. I'm going to go to put the union clip back on. And I think it goes right over this piece. Nope. I guess I better watch the video. Okay, so I didn't get a great view of that, but I actually think, okay, yeah, okay, there we go, I did it. Okay, I think I got the right spot. I'm going to show this in detail. You can see the union clip goes, a lot of wires here, right around the bump of this right here. So that, I'm pretty sure that's the spot because that's actually where the attachment is. So I feel good about where that ended up. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the top and bottom screws back on, and then I'm going to turn on the water, and I'm going to see what happens. And you know what? There's some subtlety here. Which once you've taken those off, I actually forgot if they go on. These wires off and we can get the circuit board off, and you can clearly work handy with you. And one of the other heaters, we had a leak. Okay, so it goes, the top one goes, they go with these little bars are on the bottom. So I'm going to go in here. Behind this, which is the control arm. It's not that they're on the bottom, it's that they face up and down. So I'm going to go ahead and use my screwdriver, and I'm going to try to get these back on here. So I'm going to stick this in. Okay, this is getting a little angly here with these cords. And try to get these cords out of the way. Okay, so this is interesting. This does not want to attach all the way, which is making me wonder if there is an issue with how I did this insert. This seems like it's pretty tight, but I could be mistaken. Okay. So what I did is I just took it out. Okay, yeah, that was good. Okay, so I took it out and I pushed it back in, and that helped. All right. Screwdriver. Yeah, it's a little cold and had some coffee, so I got some shaky hands, but it seems like I'm still able to do this pretty well. All right, one screw in. All right, I'm now going to apply screw 2. Okay, and these seem to really help with this attachment here. So I think this is definitely necessary to successfully do this test. I don't think I could do it without having the insert on. All right. And just gonna check. Yeah, they all face out. Okay. So I'm going to take the second piece. I'm going to try to get it over the top here. Okay, so one thing I've noticed here, I just had to really push the piece in again. So it really, I don't know if you're going to get it at first, but once you get this metal piece over there, really make sure to push this copper in. All right, so I've attached that. And then, okay, and then I do verify that this piece here, the screw is going to go in it and then be attached. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my screwdriver in here. I'm going to just try to get this so it'll go in flat. Okay, 1 screw, 2 screws, 3 screws, 4 screws. Okay, so we've got enough in there. Got the hair dryer to help me if there's an issue. I'm still going to go ahead and get a rag though, so I'll be back. O-ring, and I'm going to do another test. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take this off. Here it is, fall down. I'm going to screw in the release valve. And do that there. I'm going to place my cover over this again. Not that it seemed to do much last time. All right. And I am going to again activate the water and pray for no leaks. Oh my gosh. Oh no, huge leak. Okay, at this point, this may be okay. The leak seems to actually be coming down here from the valve itself. So I'm going to proceed to turn this all the way on. And I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on the hot as well, because I think the pressure was backing up there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the hot. Oh my God, I think I did it. All right. So I'm going to